how was life before joining the program?
Stress driven, very stress driven. I had no kind of handle on anything that I was doing. Really, really stressed, overwhelmed with things, and just not able to manage my time or anything else, and not prioritizing my time properly either.
How has it been since joining? What's changed?
Definitely less stressed. And if I am stressed, I'm managing it a lot better. I'm much busier now, much busier, but don't feel like I'm as tired or that I'm lacking in energy like I was. And I'm managing it better. I'm making time for things that I want to do, even though I'm so busy with all these other things as well and work and things. I just have prioritized myself a lot more.
What has been your biggest win so far?
My confidence, I think. Like confidence to go and work out in a gym with, even if it is only 3 or 4 other people, with anybody able within eyesight. That's a huge thing. Like I never thought I'd set foot in a gym and lift weights in front of people, especially people who are like actually miles ahead of me with regards lifting. Like the girls have been doing it for ages, so they are lifting a lot heavier than me. So definitely confidence. My stress management, the two of them are like on an even par, because I was so stressed before.
What do you think it is about the academy and how we do things that worked for you?
Definitely one of the things is the mindset training. Like it's not just all about, okay, go to the gym and lift as heavy as you can. It's not all like, oh, you need to stop being so stressed, which I have been told that in a challenge before. You need to stop being so stressed. I was like, but how? But actually being given things and being like, look, this will help you with your stress. This will help you with your time management. Here, it's just giving us tools to help us do it ourselves, rather than just telling us you need to stop stressing, which is just not helpful when you're completely overwhelmed already.
Do you think you would have achieved what you have with those same kind of 6-week challenges, keeping going on your own?
No, because I know for a fact that I went back to 1 or 2 coaches for multiple challenges. And every time I did the 6 weeks, we'd have a week break. I would go back to normal, be stressed, like eating all around me, going drinking all the time. And then I'd go at it again for another 6 weeks. Same thing with the week's break. And it was just, I couldn't get out of that cycle. I really don't think I ever would have gotten this far. And I just don't think it was ever like personalized for me. It was just kind of a, here you go, all 200 of you are going to do this, and off you go. So it didn't suit me.
Do you think you would have ever achieved what you have if you just went to a class or a face-to-face PT or whatever it was?
No, because I think I find it quite hard. I find it very hard to stick to programs. I find it very hard if it's too intense as well. I slam on the brakes, and I do get overwhelmed and I do get stressed. And I also don't think just going to a gym or going to a PT in a gym is going to actually address the mental side of things. Like, yeah, okay, you'd be motivated for the hour that's your day, but if you're only there for 2 or 3 hours a week, like it's the other hours in the week that make the difference. And I found I had to actually keep motivated and stay kind of mentally strong for all the hours I wasn't in the gym and all the hours I wasn't working out. That was more important to me than anything, because I love going to the gym. I can stay motivated in the gym for an hour. That's not a problem, but it's when I come out of the gym, then what do I do then? That's kind of the big thing.
Would you say that you found the kind of mindset side of things a useful part of this then?
Absolutely. I think the mindset thing is what kind of got me started. And I knew after doing that mindset training, I was like, no, I'm actually going to stick to this one, because I all of a sudden understood why I wasn't motivated, or I could actually pinpoint things and be like, oh God, I really need to work on this, or my stress management, and even like sitting in that wheel and realizing what way I was rating myself on all these things. I've never been asked to actually sit down and think about where I am. It's just been like, okay, we're going to improve now. But I didn't know where I was or what I was improving on. So I actually have to sit down and be like, okay, this is where I'm at, and this is not where I want to be again. And then having to work from there.
Would you say that this has been a chore?
Definitely not. And again, like any other challenge I've done has been a chore. It's been tick the box for 6 weeks and then, okay, finally I'm done. But whereas with this, it was, I enjoyed it a lot more anyway than I have with any other. And it wasn't, because it's not as intense, and there's so much freedom, and there's no restricting yourself, and you can't go out now for 6 weeks while you do this. You need to lose as much weight as possible in 6 weeks Do you know, there was none of that. It was a lifestyle thing. So it didn't feel like a chore. It was just changing, like, and changing little things. I found that, like, I was changing the most simple things that I hadn't even thought of. And now all of a sudden it's just become like a daily routine. So it didn't feel like a chore. Now it's just part of my life. I don't even notice I'm doing it anymore.
What would you say to somebody who's considering joining?
I think if you don't do it now, you might never do it. And I know for a fact that if I hadn't joined, I would still be sitting here in the exact same position as I was a few months ago. I wouldn't have been able to get myself started by myself. And sometimes that's all you need, is just someone to show you what you're supposed to be doing or what you need to be doing, or to help you, to guide you a little bit, because it can be very overwhelming sitting there not knowing where to start. And if you have gone from program to program, you lose trust in all these programs. You do, like, you lose trust and you lose faith in them. So it's completely different to that. You need to just go for it and realize, once you do the first mindset training, I think that's when people realize how different it is and how much you actually could improve.
Like, would you say that what we do is good value for money then?
Absolutely. You're getting so much, and it's kind of hard because you don't obviously see all of that on, let's say, the social media, because obviously you can't share it all either. Like, you don't see what goes on in the mindset training. You don't actually see all the things that are covered. You know, you don't see how detailed the workouts are. You don't see how easy it is to contact you if you need something. You know, it's just a message if you need something. You don't see all that when you're signing up, I suppose. You don't realize how much is actually included until you're actually in there, and then you go, oh, okay, I see now all that is being done.
How would you describe the academy?
It focuses on mental strength as well as physical strength. That's the big thing that is just, for me anyway, the major thing that I took from that. The fact that there is a focus on being mentally strong as well as physically strong, because I think when you're mentally strong, the physical side of it follows a lot easier. Definitely there's a huge focus on being mentally strong.
Sometimes females are maybe not comfortable being coached by a male or being in a mixed group. How have you found that?
I've never felt any way uncomfortable. Again, like, you've always been very, very supportive. I've never felt like I couldn't come to you and say, you know, ask you any questions or tell you if I was having an off day or an off week or anything like that. And actually, you've probably given me more knowledge as a male trainer than some of the female coaches that I've had when I've needed it. So I think that says a lot. Like,